Yeah, good point. Obviously, Johan Chua has been here a while. He played in the European Open. Manus didn't. Couldn't get his visa in time. He's only been here 2 or 3 days. But what a talent the young Filipino is.
Yeah, probably the most talented player I've ever seen, in my opinion. That's true feelings from me anyway. I predict in 4 years, if nothing distracts him, nothing gets in his way, which is easy. We've all seen it. We've all dealt with it. He could very easily be the best player on planet Earth.
Well, let's hope he shows us why. Freeze has these thoughts. We got a glimpse of it yesterday. The rack he knocked in at 4-4 against Don Kwok Wan was probably the best finish on day one. Looks like he's got a shot at the blue too.
Yeah, and there you look at his break. I just don't feel like he's getting into the balls quite enough. Look at the finish on these object balls. They're a little bit tied up, right? A lot of clusters right down here. You see all 5 balls near the 3.
Yeah, we're wondering if he'd take a little punt on moving the brown 7 out. He did. God, he's going to have to show us some magic here.
Yeah, so I feel like that was always the problem with going into the brown, is that you're never really going to get a good line to the purple, so maybe just come back to where you can get some type of defensive play. But this youngster, typically not thinking defense, and it must go to the lower right from this position. But if not, he can maybe 3-rail it out and glue him to the 9.
Yeah, that's the shot Scott was alluding to. He could have done better just because he's left the jump shot available, but in a few years' time, he will recognise that, and that cue ball will be welded on the 9 ball.
Yeah, very good point, right? Let's just say Chua jumps this in. If he doesn't this time, he will sooner or later if you don't glue him to that ball. And at this level, you better stick him.
What a wonderful effort. It really was. How much control did he have with the cue ball? This time the safety's paid off for Manus. Back at the table, here's a closer look. Look at how steep he had to get the jump cue up there just to get the cue ball popping. Trying to figure out what AJ's got on the back of his plane. The Filipino player. We'll get a better look at that, actually. What's his name? Can you see the picture, Scott? Or are you struggling?
Carl, I can barely see the TV screen.
Well, the TV screen is literally about 10 inches away from you, so... It was the left-handed Filipino with the bald head. I'm sure it's him. I'm going to have to walk over and investigate in a minute.
A little careless here, just quickly coming off the bottom of the 9. And if there's one thing he's going to learn over time, like the young Josh Filler, who's really matured over the last couple of years, is there's just moments you're going to have to take your time and relax, and that was one of them.
Doesn't matter how talented you are, doesn't matter how young you are, if your cue ball is poor, you're going to miss balls.
Yeah, and that's just maturity, right? We all know that there's key moments in the rack where you really have to settle down, and that was clearly one of them.
Yeah, forgot to mention table 2. Obviously, 2 tables in play. Francisco Sanchez Ruiz is playing Cledio Catchy. Not the day Ruiz wanted yesterday, just a 1 win from 3. He sits joint in 10th place. What a beautiful pot there from Chua. Punishes the mistake. That's what the big players do, Scott, don't they? They get down, they knock them in, and they really stick the knife.
With the long ball. Yeah, after a couple of years of that, you won't put up with it. You'll start to take your time, and those mistakes that you made when you were young will go away.
Yeah, Ruiz is just broke and scratched, so things are not going to plan. Start of this match. Cledio He's going along okay. He's played 3-1-2. Just sort of shows you how big this match is. I know it's only the start of day 2. But if Ruiz was to lose this one, he'd have 1 win from 4, Scott. And Cledio would be on 3 wins from 4. That's a little bit of a gap.
Yeah, big time gap there, right? This morning.
Yeah, we have a lot of nice guys on tour, don't we? We know them all. We know the characters. We know the good guys. We know the bad guys. But Ruiz, he's definitely a good guy.
Well, there aren't too many bad guys, I would say.
Probably just me and you, Scott, to be fair.
One of us, that's for certain.
You've had your moments, pal. You've had your moments. You've mellowed with age, though.
The pillar.
He's trying to lock him up behind the purple 5, and he has done. Oh, where do we go here?
Yeah, I don't think he can. He's cut off from the entire left side of the table. Look at this. He's trying to thread the needle between the pink and the green. And he's definitely trying. Wow, how did he hit it? He stuck the cue ball coming into the back. And that's all to credit to him with the speed at which he hit it. That's how you stick the cue ball so much easier. Jeremy was touching on it yesterday, which I fully agree. The easier you hit the kick and stick, the more control you're going to have on the cue ball. A lot of people think it's the opposite. Do a lot of teaching with the kick and stick.
Needs to get lucky here. Could have been worse, could have been better. Kind of one of them.
Top left corner, he's just got to come around. Can he avoid the 9? Even tracking towards the 9 would be okay. Stunned it out 2 rails, even better. Now where do you go to the pink? That's the only reason I was wondering if he could go forward there.
Yeah, you can see Claudio catching next to Chua. He won that second rack, so he's 2-0 up on Ruiz. Well, this would be a tight shot, wouldn't it? Trying to drop it in the side or playing it a bit firmer. Use a rail or 2. He'll go for it.
Yeah, at that speed, pretty spectacular shot. Made it look so easy, and that's something this young man does. Makes everything look easy when they go in. And I'll tell you what, that side pocket is a bear. Just out towards the middle here. Speed looks ideal.
There's no hanging about. You won't hear the beep of the shot clock too often when he's at the table. It's very natural, just sees the shot, just pulls the trigger. Huge social media following us, this AJ Manus. Obviously, this younger generation, Scott, this is the world we now live in. And I remember maybe a week ago, just some video popped up. I think he was walking through a mall or something. It had 1 million views on the video.
You know, I'm not surprised, right? Look at his native countryman Efren Reyes, then you got Bustamante and guys like that. And now those guys didn't come up in the area of social media. And now you've got, well, this young man who's going to have a huge following. Already does, like you said, Carl, but Philippines, pool, basically their national sport outside of boxing.
Yeah, and I'm also, I know you're a huge fan of this man, as we can see. Alone. Great advert for 9-ball.
No doubt. On the one just short, Carl. We've seen this quite a bit. When they do miss it, it's definitely not going to be long.
Yeah, and the split for Johan looks pretty kind. The blue 2 goes and the red 3 is down this side of the table as well. It's hard really to see where this could go wrong. Let's get this first shot right off a couple of rails, which is so natural, where you can see the natural path. Probably just getting.
Don't see anything either. Everything leads to one another, right?
Yeah, we're just glancing at the other TV screen. I know you guys can't see this, but Ruiz, Scott, just missed another ball. It was one of them little longish 2 balls. He tried to pump it in and the whole body moved forward. It seems Ruiz and certainly Perlovanovic, they're struggling with the cue action.
I like what Chua did there. He paid attention to detail, right? Going into the purple 5. That way he could get a little bit below the 3. I feel like the pink does play in the lower right if he needs to. But he's looking for the middle? Or is he just looking at a line at where he's sending the cue ball here? Okay.
Did the purple 5 block the pink 4 going? Is that why he did that? Wasn't really paying attention.
No, it didn't, but he could just get below the 3 by going into it. That way he could afford to send the cue ball up without going to a rail.
Yeah, what I like about Chua is he's got a wonderful touch with that cue ball. Landed a bit straight on the 6. Got to take a longer ball, but he'll kind of just kill the cue ball here. Yeah, you see where he's aiming low on the white. Very nice split off the dry break. Chua knocks him in, and obviously we kind of spoke about the vibe and the leaderboard yesterday, and coming into today, them top 4 players in the league undefeated, and obviously Chua's one of them only 4 players that are playing right now. So if he does go on to win this match, he'll be 4 from 4 and he'll jump to the top of the leaderboard, and that means the other 3 will walk in. They're not here yet. Shane is he's just over there behind you, Scott. I didn't see him. And the news will travel fast.
Yeah, and there's surprising guys down there in the bottom half, but that's what happens at the PLP. That can all change pretty quickly. Kachi looking to go up 3-0. How'd he finish on the 5? Not good.
Claudio Kachi's backing up what Matchroom hoped he would do in this tournament. Obviously, we've seen some comments online. I don't think this is out of order saying. We know the field could have been stronger on paper. We know that. Let's not be naive. Let's just say it how it is.
It's okay, though, Carl, right? I think it was kind of by design to allow...
Correct. Yeah, and if you look at the players we've invited, let's say we as in the tour. Claudio Cacci, Maurice Neuhausen, Edward Koyengen, Albert Menace. All young guys. I mean, you look at the Claudio and the Menace, they're going to have some battles in the future.
Yeah, and I think they're, I keep talking about flights, and it does. We as pool players know how much that can affect you. Claudio's been here a couple of weeks, right? They don't live too far. So I think, and I also think that he's playing as good as his brother. I've said that for the last 3-4 months. I feel like he's playing as good as his brother. And I'm not defending AJ Manis. All I'm saying is it's a good reason for him to really be up for this event. Probably just naturally feeling a little bit better at the table. If there was anything critical, the more I watch AJ Manis, maybe it is the amount of time he takes when he delivers the shot. I believe, obviously, like we touched on, that'll change over time. Even just adding, a split second can make all the difference in key situations. Chua getting a looked like it was going to fall short, and he's going to have a long reach. Once again, just a little lackadaisical getting to the 8 for no reason.
Watch outside. The little bump has helped him. If he hadn't caught the bump, it'd have probably gone on the top rail. Heart of the pocket for Manis. Left himself a little tester. He looks up into the skies. Probably wondering why he keeps leaving himself them type of shots. 2-2. Over on table 2, there's a bit of a safety battle going on. 4 balls remain. This is the situation. Ruiz is at the table, kicking off the back rail. Maybe could see a sliver. Tight to see from here.
Yeah, I don't think there's anybody on the planet I'd rather have kicking at this ball. I think we all kind of know he's one of the best to do it. He'd like to catch it heavy, I think going in, for sure, actually. Well, he caught it heavy. Is he going to get away with it? Boise.
Oh my.
Yeah, Carl touching on this break. I feel like he could afford to get into the balls a little bit more with the power. Spread's a lot better there. 9 was rocking and rolling.
Yeah, it doesn't appear to have a pocket, does it? So, at first glance, kind of tricky to see what safety he's going to play. Is he playing off the edge? Going to leave a gap here.
Yeah, is he straight here? And that makes all the difference as well. And it looks like he is pretty straight. We did knock a 9 in similar. I believe in game number 1. This is a little different. Like Carl just said, the red 3. Back there by the cue ball. Be all right just stopping there, I think. Yeah, what a hit.
Yeah, what are the players talking about? Scott Chua's making these look like 5-inch pockets at the moment.
Yeah, he almost got too much out of that. Just shocking from that position.
Yeah, obviously he has too much angle here. He could roll forward and shoot the 5 up into the long left. I think he's just coming around to have a look. Yeah, he's clocked it, goes past the 9 now. It's all about speed, this shot. Don't let up on it. Make sure you come down far enough. Oh, he's decided to hold. Yeah, that was okay.
Looks a bit more settled than he did yesterday to me. 3 or 4 moments yesterday, Carl, where he got a little quick with the swing at times, but I think that has a lot to do with just dialing in on the new equipment.
Yeah, this event has been played on the Rasson Mr. Sung table. The corners are cut just under 4. Last week's European Open, we were playing on diamond tables, so as Scott just alluded to, players maybe took, a day just to get used to the equipment. No excuses today, though. Everyone's had a full day's play, as well as the couple of practice tables that we have here, knocking the balls in. Been a real good vibe here, actually. There you see the couple of practice tables, Neuhausen and Labutis, warming the back arm up. Next on the match table will be Neuhausen. He's going to be playing Shane Van Bonen. Scott Frost and Jeremy Jones will be talking you through the action on that one.
Shane in the 4 position right now. He seems to be hovering in the same position he was last year, right? Just kind of doing his thing, and then really stepped it up towards the end last year.
Well, he's got to look at this ball in the side. That's made the wing ball straight in then.
Yeah, and the 1 went high, which is something we're not seeing too often. Layout good here if he can just bury the 1. I guess you could stay out towards the center if you had to on the pink.
Yeah, that's okay. You can just draw the cue ball back over onto the right-hand side rail. Kind of shoot the cue ball through the green and the 8. Oh, we didn't get into that. Forgot to draw.
Or did he draw it too much, Carl? Was he trying to come above the side or below it? Obviously, you're probably right. I think he was trying to tuck below, correct?
Yeah, here's another look. Just didn't get into it, did he?
No, not at all. Tip maybe come up right at the end. He wants to come in at an angle here on the pink, or at least just get end rail to end rail, right? So the speed is real important. He recognizes that right now. And now he's looking at shaving it over maybe 1 rail past the 6 and 9 and sending the cue ball up table. Most likely get another look. You never know, though, with this youngster. Doesn't have a lot of defense in his bag yet, Carl. He likes to go. It's a green light for Manus pretty often.
Well, he'll do well to go through the green light here. Even as attacking as he is, what would you even attempt?
I felt like the pink might even bank past the 6 and the side, but there's a pretty obvious defensive play here.
Chua will fancy this one, you know. He'll fancy going close to the top right corner pocket, kicking off this left rail.
Yeah, and once again, I felt like he could have got him up in behind the 8 a lot better if he just goes forward with that. I can't fault him for what he did. And he's going to earn a look to the lower left. 6 does not pass the 9 in the lower left, but it's all about getting pink 4 down.
Claudio Caccia wins another rack over on table 2. He now leads Ruiz 3 racks to 1. Beautiful pot here from Madness. Yeah, Claudio just broke off over there as well. He's no shot on the blue 2. He's going to have to play a safety. It's all about getting on this 6 ball. This looks all right, you know. This looks all right, Scott. It's going to come.
That finish. Just tuck to the right long rail here.
Yeah, you can see the other table. Claudio went for a 2-way bank. You can just see where the 2 balls finished over the pocket. Ruiz is in a world of trouble here. He's got to try and kick this blue 2 ball in over that pocket. He's in a spot.
Yeah, is he talking about Ruiz? I don't know. We'll get a look at that.
Yeah, this match is tied at 3-3. This is the kick shot.
Yeah, Carl, is he looking to bend it off the top rail, right? You're going to warp this with a low inside ball. Watch it bend or arc off this top rail.
Wow. Oh, Ruiz, Scott, you called it, and he played it, and he's been blessed with the shot on the red 3. He deserves it. What a beautiful shot. Explain what he's done with the cue ball there, Scott, for the amateur watching back home.
Well, when you've got a low ball into fresh cloth, it's even easier to arc it around the object ball. So the easier you hit it, the more it's going to arc. The harder you hit it, the less time it has to react. So he's just dug into it using that top rail. Probably the best in the industry at that shot as well. We've seen him do it time and time again.
Yeah, if we had a corner pocket cam where the blue 2 was, you'd really see that cue ball arcing. Maybe we'll get you on the vlog today doing that shot, and I'll stand there with a camera. We'll get the cue ball bending freeze. Show the pool fans.
The bender. Yeah, the pink and the purple. Glued up down here on the lower left side. I like the decision. I just feel like he could get a little tidier, right? Like really get more aggressive and kind of go towards the pink or the purple there. Maybe he did. I can't wait to see how.
Back he trails 3-2. Chua's going airball. He's trying to play a full table bank. It's all gone a bit wrong. Is he going to get away with it? He is. Going to get away with it big.
Yeah, I almost wondered if Chua was going at the 7 there. Seems to be having some issues with that right shoulder. Noticed it late last night. I look at this, he was wondering if it went to the lower left. I don't think he thought it was going towards the 7. Caught the right side of the 2, which threw the purple to the left a little bit more than you expect. I don't think AJ's going to like where he finishes here. He's too young to be in jail, Carl. I think that's where he's going to end up.
Could have been worse. I'm not saying this is easy, but that cue ball is frozen to the purple 5. This rail is no longer available. Always felt this was a nasty shot, Scott. Do you have any tips when the cue ball's near the rail trying to hit a ball? Obviously, Manus doesn't need them. Just asking for a friend.
Depending on where you're kicking a 1 rail, 2 rail, right? Non-new cloth or older cloth, what part of the world you're in, I think it all makes a big difference. But the best advice I could give you, Carl, is to get the cue out and start practicing.
I thought you were going to say, stay right here. That was the line. That was the line. I thought he's done me. He's got me here.
I wasn't going to do it.
You should have done. I'd have done it to you.
It's early, Shaq.
Well, it's not too early to be going airborne. As Chua pulls out a beauty, he's going to have to play a combo here. This is tricky. The 7 ball's not exactly over that hole. Don't be fooled. If you don't hit the 7 right, it won't go.
This is all about a level cue, right? Any movement, it's really going to expose the mishit. Well, you can't ask for much more. The speed, you know, he didn't want to slow roll it, Carl, to where the 3 drifts one way or the other or something funny happens. It's really all you could ask for there.
Yeah, good news is he'll fly at a bank here. He ain't going to play safe here. No, come on, don't do it to us, Johan. Don't. He'll go for something crazy, yeah, I can assure you. He does not mind at all.
Well, I mean, he's so close to the 3, I don't blame the bank at all, right? I think he's got a little bit of a backdoor safety built in, but he can shave the left side of the 3 and pretty easily get down here, I think. Now he's going to make you look real good, Carl. Oh, no, he's not. So he did go to the defensive side.
Played it wonderful and all, it has to be said. Just that 1 ball to get behind. Very easy to under-hit it or even over it, that shot. Yeah, he knows he's give up the jump shot, but sometimes you can only play what you can play, can't you, on a pool table? Jump bank, or is it distance? Split the balls, yeah, it's distance. Just trying to make life hard for Chua on his next visit. He'll have a go at the cut here, I can assure you. This is his trademark shot.
I mean, there is a good look at welding him to the back of the pink. Or even the other direction. These guys like to shave it the other way, but you're talking about cutting it to the lower left or the lower right?
He'll take whatever pocket he wants. The right shot's probably the safety, but that's our age. Yeah, he loves this. He can't hold back on the thing cut, I'm telling you.
AJ loves it as well.
I think the fact that it was 3-3, I'd like to think it was the wrong shot. Maybe 3 up. Why not?
And they say the score shouldn't dictate the shot. But we see it all too often. It really does.
Do you agree with that statement? Or do you
No, I disagree.
Yeah, I disagree as well.
Yeah, there's times where you have to make something happen, right? Look at Earl Strickland in his heyday. He'd take on shots that most people wouldn't in a lot of different situations. Yeah,
I always thought that statement was a load of garbage and all when they say, play the table, not the player. That's like one of the worst sayings ever.
Fair point.
Well, for instance, if I'm playing Efren Reyes, I ain't going to push out to a kick, am I?
Of course not.
Because he's going to make me look foolish.
Of course.
I'm going to swing at something wild or get the jump cue out.
Yeah, I mean, just like in a scenario where a guy's down 4-0, 5-0 in a race to 7. What are you going to play safe with 3 balls on the table and you've got some type of bank or something? No. Real thin here, though. He might be going to the back of the bumblebee.
Two-rail kick is on offer here. He might pot it in this bottom right corner. If he hits the 8 off the second rail, he'll definitely go close to this. Believe me, that wasn't that far away. Your guy is about to get on the hill. 4-3. Chua has not been beaten yet. And this would do AJ Manus the world of good, just a one win rather from 3.
Listen, Carl, I sat over there in the stands last night while you and Jeremy were back here commentating. There's something different about watching him. It's kind of like watching Filler or Shaw in person, right? There's just something different about him. The way the pocket takes the ball and that thump and his cueing, he gets through the ball so effortlessly. Watching it in person, it's very, very motivating.
Yeah, and he has that carefree look about him, but he does care. He wants to put up a good showing here this week. There's the GOAT, SVB. Last year's winner, the defending champion, undefeated so far. This week, 3 from 3. Watching on.
With the fresh haircut.
Not on the practice table for a change. And he's up next as well. Playing Maurice on this very table. Good break. He's going to get a look at the blue 2. Is he going to get a look at the blue 2? He's not. He could fire at the bank. Swing the cue ball around off a few rails.
You are in an aggressive mood today, Carl. You haven't played safe one time this match.
Yeah, and if that was the case out there, I'd have lost 5-0 by now as well.
Yeah, pretty clever shot here. Look at the reverse spin off the second rail with the outside ball, right? Allowed it to take to the bottom rail. Really eclipsed him on the blue 2. Can you get behind the 2 here, Carl, or do you got to catch it going in? Well, I feel like going to the left side, you've got a much bigger margin of error for scratching.
Needs a roll. Needs some help with the 8. Didn't get it. Chua with a chance to send this game to Hill. Table 2 is tied up. Ruiz wins rack number 6. We're now tied at 3-3 over there as well. So day 1 action. We had a lot of matches on day 1. Tight. It seems day 2 could be following suit.
Yeah, here it's all about the 4 to the 5, I believe. 6 plays to the lower right corner. If he gets we're going to be all tied up. Is he going towards the 8, or is he straight enough here? Yeah, find the gap. It's a good look. Man to the left, flew over here with Manus.
Okay. Does he try and zip this back, or does he pump it? Had to pump it, which meant he had to be a little more accurate on the pot than he was.
little thinner to the side than it actually looks. Probably go with a low outside ball here and wrap around. Just a little easier to make the 7.
That will do the job nicely. I know the players have been very complimentary on the opening couple of days here of these tables, and our very own Jeremy Jones was having a practice session last night till the early hours.
Yeah, he played 2 rack. For the U.S. Open this summer.
Yeah, former champion. Loves that free entry angle.
Yeah, he had a pretty good finish. The last event, we were sweating him pretty hard.
Yeah, he had a good run. He rolled back the years, did double J. This is the other table. Claudio Caccia has got years and years in front of him. If you didn't know, this is the younger brother of Eklund Caccia. Sure you did. Comes from the world of snooker. Was a young amateur snooker player, practicing day and evening, week in, week out. But he's decided 9 balls for him. He feels like it must be more suited to him, and obviously he can travel with his brother. That must play a big part. So there's the break. I agree with you, Freeze. It's a little light, it's a little soft, it's lacking power.
Yeah, he's got to get more into that. I'm sure he has it. I think this is kind of by design. He thinks he's going to get a ball down, most likely the 1, but it continues to go short. That could really sting. A little frustration out of Manis. You know how bad he needs this. Chua, other plans. Do you have to go towards the green 6 here? I don't think so. I think you can just avoid it. And there you see Kachi, the younger brother, 2, ready to take the lead at 4-3. Chua not thrilled with where he finished here, Carl.
No, and this is why we, us pool players or ex-pool players, whichever way you want to look at it, this is why we do like this corner pocket a little more snug, because this shot just means a little bit more now. Well, it just showed you how hard he had to hit the ball. It took a couple of wobbles, but it fell. Wants an angle. May have a little one. A very little one at that.
Yeah, and I think he also wants to send a message to the young man saying there's still the same sheriff in town. You're not ready yet, youngster. Has he gotten a little thin on the 5? Yeah, he might have some work to do on the 6. Oh, he's held it as good as he could from there, to be honest.
How well's he got to hit this one, though? Where's he going to go? Is he going to try and rip into it? I mean, he kind of has to, doesn't he?
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the 8 Jason Shaw missed on day 1. This inside ball here can be real tricky. They tend to want to overcut it. Oh, gosh, he hit it so good. Does it clear the 8? Does it clear the 8? Wow. It's finished behind the 8. He is not satisfied. As good as he hit it, Carl, I feel like didn't deserve this outcome.
No, it just shows you the difficulty, really, didn't it? And it all kind of started to go wrong when he landed on that pink 4 ball the way he did. He's pulled out shorty. You would think he's going for this pot, but he could go into it.
Yeah, I don't mind knocking it out 2 rails and just forcing Manus to come with the long ball, right? Tough enough to hold the cue ball on the table and clear the 8. Wow, he did go at it. Backdoor safety, Carl.
Well, he'll be happy with that. He knows Manus has got to pull something out the bag here. He got very close to potting it. Everything kind of just worked out nice. He avoided the side pocket with the cue ball. What have we got here?
Yeah, okay, is this the side of his game that still needs work? Most likely at his age, but still a great cue as to what can he get done. Does he use the 8? Oh boy, he's just going to go. I think that's a little haphazard. Is it going to finish awkward? Not awkward enough. That's probably going to cost him.
Yep. Still got to get down and knock this ball in, but it's just a case of knocking this ball in and he should get the job done.
Yeah, Manus had a couple of blockers there with the 8 and 9. You got to figure he's got to try to use one of them there.
Let's not forget, this is to put Chua at the top of the table. The Lone Wolf, it will be 4 wins from 4. SVB's up next. He's on 3 from 3, so he has a chance to tie it up, but things are moving along nicely here, the PLP. And it's Chua who wins a Hill Classic at the start of day 2. Coming up next, SVB versus Neuhausen.
We are guaranteed 4 phenomenal days of action right here in Florida. Drama is certainly guaranteed in front of a hugely raucous crowd. The American fans really get into the spirit.
Fans all around the world. There's so much history, so much prestige, and it all comes down to this.
So much action lies ahead at the Caribe Royale in Orlando, Florida.
descend on the West Midlands for what should be one cracking tournament.
Warming up. He's actually played that shot.
Oh, you've got to be joking.
Great shot, division.
Robbie Caputo unleashes emotion.
back here at the Hollywood Hills, the Hills Sarajevo, for day 2, match 2 of the PLP. And what an opener we had. We've had plenty of Hill matches. Of course, table 2's at Hill right now between Buddy Okachi and FSR. Talked to Johan just a minute ago. I think we'll get an interview before long, but said he had a little bit of slept wrong, got a stiff neck. Felt fortunate to win those first 3 matches. Feeling a little better today, he said, but a great match to open. I'm Jeremy Jones, again joined by Scott Frost. Scott, any comments about the opener today and what we're going to look forward to in the next match with SVB and Moritz Neuhausen?
Well, I think we're going to see the same from both of those guys, both real consistent players. SVB, I mean, he's just a simple machine. That's all there is to